Hi everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Sound. My name is Leslie, and today we are talking to Wily. We're here to talk about the first release of your EP, Always Sucked at Saying Goodbye. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, we're doing great. And it's very, very weird, but it's actually Wily.
Oh, Wily.
Wily. It's always a challenge to try to figure out how people are going to try spelling it, but yeah, it's Wily.
Should I do the intro again then?
No, keep going.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's now people know, you know.
Yeah. Could you guys please introduce yourself for those who may not know you?
Yeah, I'm Will Davis.
Sarah Gibson.
And I am Mikhail Raphael.
Okay, great. So you guys just released your first EP titled Always Sucked at Saying Goodbye. What inspired this EP? What inspired the title of it?
I wrote a lot of the songs on it, though obviously was very much helped by my crew. I recently left New York City, where I lived for a long time, and moved down here. And like anytime when you're leaving a place and going to a different place, there's a lot of hard conversations, a lot of hard goodbyes. So that kind of inspired the song Always Sucked at Saying Goodbye, which is the first song on the record. But it's also, there's so many different things that in our life we have to learn to say goodbye to, and often it's not easy to. It could be a relationship, but it could also be the way we talk to ourselves about ourselves, and the way we deal with substances or friendships or our parents. And it's kind of exploring the cycles that we all go through and the learning opportunities that come with having to say goodbye, and recognizing that we often don't do it right, and how we need to be kind with ourselves and just accept that we're all growing and trying to be better.
Is there a particular song on the EP that holds a special meaning to each of you?
I'm curious what y'all would say about that.
Actually, just recently, the title track Always Sucked at Saying Goodbye, I recently had to put down one of my childhood dogs, and the day that it happened, it was like the day after it happened, we were actually listening through the masters of the record, and that song, it like had a whole new meaning to me. And I remember sitting in that room and kind of like crying behind everybody, being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, to me, when I first heard that song, it was more relationship based for me, like ending a relationship, more like a breakup song, or like saying goodbye to friends, that kind of stuff. And in the moment where we were listening to that, and I was relating everything back to like saying goodbye to not only a family pet, but like a best friend that you've had there forever, it seems like. And it just made me realize that that song was so much more versatile than I thought. And now every time I hear it, I think of it with a new meaning. So yeah, I really love that one.
I really love the song "Eye Drops" on the EP. It's probably one of my personal favorites on the EP. It's a song about like addiction. Specifically, I think it's about weed addiction. I don't really have that, but I do drink like nightly. Not a whole lot, but from drinking like 3-4 beers every night. I'm not getting blackout drunk, but it's kind of bordering on alcoholism. So that, and I really enjoy that song because I relate a lot to just the struggles of trying to overcome addiction and just overcome bad habits, you know, or not letting a bad habit, when a bad habit becomes an addiction, you know, just like the song kind of explores that line, you know. What's the lyric? Such a part of me not easy to discern. Do I get high or need something to burn? You look me in the eye, swear that you can see a truth. It's a lie. Those are eye drops staring back at you. I really like that second half, like, especially the second half. Look me in the eye, swear that you can see the truth. I think it's a very cool kind of a visual image. So yeah, I think that would be my pick for a song that has special meaning for me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of these songs are very important to me in a lot of different ways. I firmly believe when I write music that the song will continue to grow and change with me, and these songs specifically, because I really, when I moved here, brought a lot of them here, and they grew and changed as I found this band. But I would say that the song Affirmation Number 3 is a really important song to me. I didn't mean it at the time to be this thing. It's all about how you should be nicer to yourself, really. And there's this bridge in which I basically say, I'm good enough, I give enough. Wait, I'm good enough, I give enough, I am enough. When it gets
We always
tough,
flip this one
maybe
around.
that's enough. And I found because I sing this song so much that I literally created this repeatable affirmation that I have to sing all the time. And of course, there's something so powerful about being in a room and having other people say that with you. But it's become this thing that doesn't even feel like a song anymore, but this reminder to myself that I need to be nicer. And that's a journey that's going to take a lot longer than the amount of time it takes to write the song. But it's been this beautiful gift to get to keep playing it.
It's very obvious that the EP holds a special meaning to each of you. So why did you decide that now was the time to release your very first EP?
So we've been working on this record for a year and a half before we released it. Some people have come in and out of the band. It's taken a little bit of time for us to find exactly what this core group is. We had this producer that we brought on, Shane Wiseman, who's been really amazing as well. But as we've figured this song and as we figured out what this band is going to be, I feel like we really were kind of holding on until we were ready to kind of introduce ourselves to the world. And I think that we learned a lot. And, you know, now it feels like we've gotten this music out and we can really like figure out what the next step is and really have a better, stronger idea about like what it means, what Wily's like trying to do basically. But yeah, you know, it's also like so much art, it's hard to let it go. It's hard to say this is going to be the version that we're going to give out to the world, because like I said before, it still feels like these songs are these breathing, moving things that we're still just now beginning to understand what it means to us and other people.
What was the most challenging and the most rewarding part while creating this EP for you guys?
I think drums, maybe. I mean, technically drums. I don't know.
Yeah, getting everyone in the same room all at once was a really, really hard thing to do over this year and a half, which is why it took so long in the recording process. But, you know, we all, throughout the last year, we've all worked 2-3 jobs each. We play our solo stuff, we play with other bands, and you know, we wanted this to be a core project. We wanted this to be something that we were all really committed to. And it's really hard to do when, you know, you're doing something else 5-6 days a week, or you're always on the road or traveling, or, you know, holidays, that kind of stuff. So I think trying to make sure that the sound that we wanted is what we got, it took a little longer than we expected. A lot of us had to record kind of one at a time when we were the only people in the room. So,
oh, sorry, I'll add my answer real quick. Drums and playing guitar to a metronome. That was the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it was all about really trying to make sure that, you know, I was so excited as like a banjo player, singer, songwriter. I've always felt like my music sounds better with other people, of course, and I mean, having Gibson sing all this stuff with me. Mikkel was the first person to join this band. It's been so excited adding stuff, but I think the biggest challenge was making sure we didn't add too much that the song got lost. It's really important to me that these songs have a certain level of catharsis, have a certain level of impact on the people listening to them, hope, and to make sure that there wasn't so much going on that can't really get through. So yeah, I'd say.
You guys kind of touched on it briefly, but could you talk about the creative process behind the EP?
I lived in New York City for a long time and had a band called Cardboard Rocket Ship up there. And during COVID, like so many people kind of decided that I needed to go on a new adventure and move down here. And some of these songs kind of came from that time. Some of these songs came from when I moved here. It was like putting it together like a team for a heist, you know. You're going around trying to find all the perfect people. Me and Mikkel met, and we started playing, and his guitar style really just matched exactly the way that I wanted my banjo to be playing with. I've known Gibson since I moved here, basically, and I've been trying to convince her to join my band for like a year, and our bassist left the band, and I basically was like, hey, can you learn bass so you can be in my band?
you asked me if I knew bass, and I said, yeah, and that was a lie. A complete lie. I just wanted to be involved.
Yeah, and so now she's in the band and actually not playing bass. We just had a new member just join our band, Luke Sands, who's a beautiful upright bassist, which is very exciting. I really feel like this record was about us finding our sound, having people be a part of it. We had some people that played on the record that are no longer a part of the band, but still gave a lot to it. Riley Stevenson, Tyson Biddle, who were very important to us figuring out exactly what we wanted. But yeah, I think we really are such a live band. It was very, it was a new journey for us to be in that room. Our producer, once again, Shane Wiseman, was a super important aspect. He's been a friend for a long time, and learning to trust him and trust his ear was massively important. He plays with us a lot. We always call him the fifth Beatle, because he's in the background a lot, but certainly has just been so important. And it's so important to have people you trust, you know. I feel like the reason Wily is special is because everyone has such a strong individual voice. Both Mikkel and Gibson are beautiful songwriters. So trying to figure out how do we bring all that down so it's just pushing out one thing, but how do we utilize each of those aspects to create something that can be so much greater than a boy with a banjo.
So for each of you individually, what was a new learning experience that you guys experienced personally and as a group together while creating this EP?
Want to go first, Mikkel?
I have to think about it. You go first. Or someone else go first.
I've played with a couple bands growing up. I have been with groups somewhat long-term, on and off for a long time. Something that I learned was when you're playing with people that you're meant to be playing with, you're meant to be creating with, writing with, even just like sitting in a room with, there's something that clicks. And it's really hard to explain. But I remember when I came to the first rehearsal on an instrument that I did not know how to play, that I had to dig out of a closet, and I had to learn how to read charts that he sent me 2 days before the show that we were supposed to play. And I'm sitting here reading, what strings are on which notes are on which frets on my phone and trying to make it up as I go. And it was a safe enough space that I had time to learn. Not a lot of time, but the space to learn. And once I understood what I was doing and it clicked with you guys, I knew exactly where I was supposed to be. Even if it wasn't supposed to be on bass, I was in that room, and I had never felt that way in a room with all of the other bands and groups and artists that I've played with. So I wasn't expecting to fully integrate myself into this group until that moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still feeling this out, but I think this is my band. And it was really, really cool seeing how we've all evolved throughout the last year and a half and how we've learned to play with each other. But figuring out what that moment was and what that feeling was, that was one of the coolest things that I've learned since being a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that sounds like it's on a broader scale, maybe it's like general musical evolution, just of you along with your band. I feel like when you play with a band, you grow as an artist, and the people you play with grow as an artist because of your growth, and then you also grow because of them. It's kind of just an interrelated thing. And so, when I first started jamming with Will, I honestly didn't really consider myself that much of a guitar. I didn't move to Nashville to be a guitar player. I moved to Nashville to be a singer-songwriter. And but I started jamming with Will, and I kind of got returned to sort of my guitar playing roots, and I was doing things. I didn't really know that I could play guitar the way I play now. It just kind of started coming out naturally, and I kind of grew into it. I settled into that style of playing because of my interaction with Will, and then as the band grew, and we had Sarah in, we had more members come and go. It really just kind of, I think the original question was what would we a learning experience. I mean, I think the learning experience to crystallize it would really just be when you find a group of people whose sound really resonates with you. It could it's kind of amazing how that sound and that chemistry that you have with the people that you're jamming with could just, as a musician, could really just kind of elevate you and improve overall musicianship, as well as just your connection with music generally. Yeah,
I think this process so far, the word that keeps popping out for me is honesty. It's so important to be willing to be honest with the people that you're creating art with, not have to be afraid of egos or the way people are going to respond, and not be afraid of the way people are going to respond, but trust that they'll be able to listen to you. Because I think being honest also means that you can trust people. And there have definitely been roadblocks throughout these last year and a half. And I think something that I've dedicated myself to being better at is being honest, being able to have hard conversations, and being able to trust that the people that you're talking to will be able to listen. This whole record is about me trying to learn from mistakes I've made before, and also recognizing that sometimes you have to make the mistake multiple times, but you have to at least be willing to keep trying. And for me, it's just keep trying to be honest.
Before we get to the rest of this video, I wanted to give a shout out to our latest endeavor, the Upstate Sound Academy. I'm sure you already know the music industry is constantly changing. Every 3 months there's like something new we gotta figure out. And for those just starting, it can be pretty intimidating because it's not just about making music. So what we're doing is developing these free tools for you guys to use. From where to sign up to collect your royalties, how to write a proper artist bio, how to make great content. We even have what we're calling a pocket mentor. That one's kind of our flagship chapter because I didn't have a mentor when I started, so I wanted to be able to provide answers for the questions you probably don't even know to ask yet. So if you're interested in receiving these free tools, just email academy@theupstatesound.com and we'll send it right over to you. I'll even hop on a call with you and learn more about you and what you got going on, because we do know everyone's path is different and we're a new age label here at the Upstate Sound, so follow for more. Back to the video.
I think it's really interesting. Is there a song on the EP that you guys think resonates with the sound of the band?
Well, it's interesting. I would say, before I would love to hear y'all's answers. I think that this record really was us finding the songs, the sound of the band, because a lot of them were songs that I had maybe written before we were a band. But looking forward in the songs that we're writing now, I feel like I know my answer. I'm just curious what y'all would say.
God.
If I had to pick one song that sort of like best reflects that general sound from the EP, I would probably maybe like Affirmations. But I would say that it best reflects our sound as we are now, because we're evolving, and some of the new songs that we're working on, they are kind of going into a different style. Not a different style, but like it's more refined. We're exploring new things, So yeah, like I guess Affirmations reflects who we are and what our sound is now, but will reflect our sound a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now. I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah.
I think I'd also have to say Affirmations. I think that song really pulls together how we all feel about this band and how we all feel about the music, because like Will said, I mean, he wrote a lot of this music before we had ever even heard, like before I'd even knew you. To be able to take someone else's writing like that and make it feel like it's something that we all created together from scratch, I think is really powerful. I think I love your music, and I can attest that Mikkel also loves your music, and we feel that we can come into this already written project and make it our own as well. And that song specifically, there are multiple points in that song where it kind of proves that, whether it's like the bridge section and us adding those harmonies and us all being involved, the arrangement of that song, that's our big finale song. That's what we use to say goodbye to the crowd, to remind everyone, like, this is how we feel. We want to make ourselves better. We want to make sure that we're treating ourselves better. Let's share that with you. Like, we have our big sign. All of our merch has the bridge lyrics on it. I'm rambling now, but I think that song means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the people that listen to our music. I'd say if you ask anyone what song reflected Wily, I think they'd say Affirmations.
We always called it our thesis statement.
Our thesis statement, yeah.
Which you know, even though I said that song means a lot to me, I was gonna say Hold Me. I feel like Hold Me, creating songs that people can really connect to, that are yet still specific, that tell a story and have a lot of dynamics, I feel like are a lot of things that Wily has a lot of. But I mean, after all y'all said about Affirmations, I'm gonna go with Affirmations too.
Was there a particular track on the EP that you're especially proud of?
Ooh, Hold Me for me, actually. Just because that was one of the first songs that I came in and really felt like I had a heavy hand in the arrangement on the vocal side of things. I tried my best to arrange a lot of the fun background vocals and the call and response and stuff like that. So being able to mess around on that song and get everyone involved in the vocals, I was really, really proud of that.
Yes, Sarah's sort of vocal ability and her ability to harmonize and come up with just like bouncing vocal tracks, and we'll contribute to some of that, and Shane too, our producer. But I mean, Sarah's like expertise. I think that was. Did you go to Berkeley for that?
Oh, not for that, but I did mess around with that there.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely added a lot to the band, the band sound and our evolution as a band. As far as like a particular track that I'm most proud of, I'm gonna go with two. Sorry, but it's gonna be Hold Me as well. I really love Hold Me. I love just the evolution of that song. I remember when Will and I first started playing it, and just how it's really incredible to see just how it's evolved from back when me and Will were just playing together as a duo to just this whole kind of massive epic thing. You know, it's like really big epic drums.
And it's still changing.
Yeah.
I think we changed part of the outro the other day, how we do it live. I mean, all these songs, they evolve so much every day.
As we rehearse, like almost every rehearsal, there's always one idea that pops up, like, oh, we should do this to this song, or do this to this song. But yeah, so Hold Me, and then my second favorite, my other favorite would be Eye Drops, as I said earlier. It's a bop. I love it. Love that song.
You rip on the guitar in it too.
Very true.
I think for me, a song that I'm really just proud of the way it ended up on the record was Don't Regret Me, the last song. It wasn't a song we did record at Porter Rose Studios where we recorded the other ones. It was a song that me and our producer Shane Wiseman we're just hanging out one day, not thinking about music at all, and he just jumped on my piano. I picked up the banjo and started singing that chorus, and we said, should we write this song? And we wrote that song that day. We went to his house and we recorded it that day. And a lot of the stuff that's on this recording was from that first day. And just to have a song that just so naturally came to fruition, like there was such a need for me to write it, and it felt really important that it would be on this record. I'm glad it made it, and it's a hard song, but an important song for what I was trying to say with this record.
How did your guys' individual style or sense of music influence kind of the band's sound or the creative process as well when creating this EP?
I think definitely like the layered vocals for me. I'm obsessed with recording harmonies. Even in my solo stuff, I mean, I get in trouble with some of the artists that I work with because I'll send them more than they need. And sometimes that's like a million lead vocal tracks all stacked, and then a million high harmonies, a million low harmonies. Thank God we had Shane, because he really stopped me sometimes from putting way too much. He'd be like, no, that's all we need. And he'd let me fight him sometimes. Like, no, let's double this. No, let's double this. So being able to like fight with him on that too, and like really work in some of the tasteful layered harmonies, even if you can't really hear them, there's some songs where the harmonies really blend into the instrumentation in the background, and those are the ones that I can pick out, and I love that kind of stuff. But being able to bring that to this record and given the freedom to add those things, and like having you guys let me arrange some of that and even have them sing it.
And you were there for all of the vocal takes that everyone did. Like I wanted you there with me,
Yeah.
and Mikkel sang. That was important.
Yeah, that I was really, really excited that I could really, like, contribute to this record because that's one of my favorite things ever. That's really what makes it feel like it's also my record.
I guess when I first started playing with Will, I was I'm a big fan of Dave Rawlings' guitar playing style. When I first started playing with Will, he was playing banjo, and I was like, oh, banjo, Americana, think Dave Rawlings. And I just kind of, that was 3 years ago, and 3 years later, I just kind of like built on that. I think that, so I guess that influence, that style, has kind of become, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like it's kind of become a little bit integral.
Signature Wily sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah, in terms of just like how my personal influence has sort of helped shape the band sound, I think that would be it, I think.
Yeah, and I'd say for me, I really fall in love with the clawhammer style of banjo, which is really influenced by like old time banjo, this very rhythmic way of playing, which is very influenced this record. So that definitely is very prevalent, and I think the way I write music is a very specific kind of songs that is kind of, like I said before, about trying to create this. This feeling of togetherness and hope, regardless of how like bad the other feelings may be, but finding that hope in there and creating these moments that can really affect people, trying to find these universal themes in my own life and heartbreak, and I think getting these people here, I think there's I think I'm good at recognizing other people and their strengths and being able to lean into that. And this is definitely a group where ego is not a part of it, where we're trying to do the same thing. And I think that's been really great. And I think I've been it's allowed me to take a step back and trust the people that are in here with these songs that mean so much to me. And that's been really important. Great.
I think the fun part about that too is that it's really hard to explain what genre we are.
Yeah.
Because we all pull from so many different genres as solo artists and musicians, and being able to fully express those styles in this band individually. There's so many things from so many different types of music that are being brought into these songs that I really don't know what to say to people sometimes. It's like the bass line, Americana. I tell people our frontman is a banjo player who writes like a singer-songwriter, and they're like, so bluegrass? I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
We're not really blues. We're not really rock. We're kind of acoustic. You got a little bit of pop in there, but
Indie, stop and holler, Americana, folk pop.
yeah. But it
like
really
that.
is because we pull from every single one of us.
Yeah.
Could you describe the band in 3 words?
Well, we're not very wily, unfortunately.
It's
Should we each give a word? Or do you want 3 words from each of us?
you're good enough.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll back that.
Yeah,
That's a good
about
response.
as good as anything.
So you guys, is there any future plans after this? It was released. Any other plans after this EP?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're playing at the Basement in town next week. We're opening up for our producer, Shane Wiseman, who's a very talented player in town. We're playing a couple shows in August. We're playing at the 5 Spot for this thing that our bassist puts on called the Tie-Dye Jam. We're taking that over, which is going to be super fun. And we're playing at a residency at Bowery Vault.
Yes, opening up for Sam Costigan.
Then we're in September going to be playing at a couple festivals up in Clarksville, the Possum Stock Festival. Then we're heading to North Carolina to play the Feel Good Festival. We're playing an Americana event at Bowery Vault in September. I forgot to tell you about that. So a lot of stuff coming up. We're working on a record a lot. I've been so inspired by having these people that really understand what this project's about. That I've been writing a lot of music recently. That I've been able to, not finish but bring to the band and have us like finish it together. With Gibson taking a lot more of a leading role, us kind of doing a lot more of this duet stuff, kind of being able to recognize what this band can be. So I'm really excited about the new music that's going to start coming out. But yeah, it's just trying not to stop and trying to keep going and just hoping that people will hear the music and recognize that maybe it could help people if they hear it.
And to conclude, where can people find you guys on social media?
Best place is going to be on Instagram at Wily Band. You can also find us on Facebook. We're getting a TikTok soon. YouTube. We'll probably kind of be pushing this on YouTube and some other stuff. We played up some big live shows that we're going to be putting a lot of videos for those performances. But Instagram at Wily Band, WILY Band, is probably the best place to keep in touch with us.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. It was great talking to you guys. This was Leslie with the Upstate Sound. Make sure to check out their latest EP, Always Sucked at Saying Goodbye, and stay tuned for more.
Thank you,
Thanks
Leslie.
so much, lovely.
Appreciate you.
We hope that episode was informative for you. If you're interested in being interviewed by one of our associate writers and being a part of Behind the Sound magazine, just contact us at info@theupstatesound.com.
And also, don't forget to like, comment your favorite tip about this episode, and subscribe. We have all our channels on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok. And we also got a new series called Upstate Legends, where we highlight a lot of the local talent that we have that have graced us with their presence at the Upstate Music Studio. But for now, that's all we got, and hope to see you in the next one. You guys take care. Peace.